If you could also indulge, how many other conservatives in your caucus feel the same way that you do?
Well, let's start with the story of how I got here. I would think over the last number of months, I wasn't feeling that I was aligned with the ideals of what the leader of the opposition had been talking about. So I've been sort of re-looking at, what my career is bringing and what I can do for my constituency. So over the last little bit, talking to many of my friends in the Liberal Party. As Deputy Speaker, I got to know a lot of those members personally, ask questions, see what's going on, and understanding the point that we are in Canadian history, where it's time to actually try to lead a country, to try to make it better and not try to knock it down, not to continue to be negative. In my case, as a Nova Scotian, we're always trying to find ways to work together to solve issues that are important to our communities. And I didn't see it by sitting in the opposition. I saw it by being a part of the government caucus.
Prochaine question.
Sorry, and just in terms of how many other conservatives feel the same way that you do that are currently sitting in caucus?
Yeah, I would suggest that there probably are those that are in the same boat, but I will let them tell their stories if that time comes.
So the Conservative Party of Canada, the federal Conservatives under Pierre Poilievre, is kind of falling apart, right? And this is where it becomes very, very deep, because Canada's nationalism, okay, like proud to be Canadian, waving the Canadian flag, keeping your head tall, your chest up, saying, yeah, I'm Canadian. I can tell you where that comes from. It's been shaped and molded over the years by the Liberal governments, because historically Canada's been 70% liberal, right? Like we've had Liberal government for 70% or more of the time. And within that 70% or more of the time, that whole like proud to be Canadian, like, yeah, I'm going to wave my flag. I'm proud of the colors. I'm proud of the leaf. I'm proud of the Great White North. Coo, 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 coo. The whole shebang, everything. Toonies, polar bears, everything, right? Everything. Tabarnak, ice hockey, right? Everything. All of that gets molded down and condensed into one thing. Proud not to be American. Okay, this is something that is very difficult for a lot of people to understand. But if you don't feel this way, welcome to the club. I don't feel that way. I'm not happy to be Canadian because I'm proud not to be American. I fucking love America. I wish there could be an economic merger, but that's just me, and that's a story for another day. You may not feel this way, but I guarantee you some of your family does, some of your friends do. Because at all times when you see on the news, when Canadians turn on CBC, CTV, whatever it is, and there's a school shooting that takes place in America, Canadians go, oh yeah, good thing we don't have those here in Canada, eh? But that compounds, and it's not just like school shootings, it's healthcare, right? A woman just gave birth to triplets in a Chicago hospital, and she was found with a $757,000 bill. I'm just making this up. She has to declare bankruptcy and has now started a GoFundMe. Canadians turn that on. Oh, yeah. Good thing we don't have that here in Canada, eh? Oh, man. Thank God we're not American. So that gets compounded. And those are two examples. And I could add more to the list, but we would be here for a very, very long day. And it's not like it doesn't happen with other countries. It's not like, oh, yeah, thank God we don't live in Luxembourg. Oh, yeah, thank God we're not Germans. Oh, thank God we're not Italians. No, it's always, thank God we're not American. Ooh, Canada doesn't have that. No, that's an American thing. So that adds up because it happens culturally and politically every day, subtly, with the news and the media and our politicians. And our schools, our education system teaches this, right? Canada knows where America is, and when you talk to America, like we know where the states are. Like you may not know exactly where Kentucky is, but like it's probably in the center on the way down because it's warm. Virginia, well, I don't think that's on the west coast. It's probably on the east coast of America. Texas, well, it's that big thing down below in America. Like Canada knows the map of America. You ask Americans, or Americans ask like, oh, where are you from? Oh, I'm from Saskatchewan. Oh, where's that? In Canada. Oh, okay, yeah, but like where's that? It's like, oh, you don't know? Like we know where America is and the parts of America. How do you not know where Canada is? And so then that adds up too. And those are compounding things. And so there's this elitist mentality that Canadians develop over time. And it just compounds because it's taught in our education system. It's taught with our politicians. It's taught with our mainstream media constantly. Even movies, our culture, everything is like, at least we're not American. And it's not like just a silly little like, oh, hey, we're going to like Canada versus America in the World Series. It's not just like a silly little competitive thing. Like it's actually a vicious thing. And we're seeing how vicious it gets right now with the like ongoing trade war. And Canada's like, yeah, we're going to like fucking make your life miserable. America's like, whoa, dude, we're just disagreeing on like a business transaction. And our Canadian politicians are like, yeah, we're going to fucking kill you. Like it's bad, right? It's really bad. And so that bleeds into our politicians. And unfortunately, it's not just a liberal thing. That's the craziest part is there's a lot of conservatives, a lot of conservative supporters, and a lot of conservative politicians that also carry that. And right now, the Conservative Party of Canada, okay, Pierre Poilievre's cabinet, his direction is a little bit lost when it comes to America. Because during the federal election, right before, there was that curveball by Trump, and Trump's like, haha, fuck you, Canada. And then Mark Carney was like, okay, well, I guess we're like saying fuck you back to America. And Pierre's like, yeah, Trump, Brad, man, what's going on? No, we got to stand up to them. And it was already too late. So the Liberals have done a phenomenal job by the standard of not like morally good, but the job of branding their party and just our culture as like anti-American. And right now it's anti-Trump. And the Conservatives don't win that race. They've never won that race. And right now they're losing that race. And so this guy right here, I can guarantee you, wants retaliatory tariffs on America, wants to stick it to America, wants to stand up to America, all those things that we see with Doug Ford, all those liberals, right? You're kind of getting this? So the Conservatives that feel like they don't have that actual sense of direction of like, we need to be strong Canadians and work together and like stick it to America, are going to be dudes like this. And they're going to be jumping ship instead of trying to maybe reshape the Conservative Party or add a little bit more context to things. They're jumping ship to an existing rhetoric that is already anti-American, elbows up. And that right there is unfortunately the foundation of Canada, is the cultural foundation of like, hey, screw you, America, we're Canadian. And it's going to keep happening. Well, let's listen to what he has to say, because he's not the only person that's doing this. There's going to be another one actually today, probably.
Hi, Mr. Nashima. Nick Murray from Canadian Press. I know you just spoke of Mr. Poilievre and the direction he was going, but I'm just wondering whether the Conservative leadership style perhaps pushed you out of caucus.
Well, I think that's probably a part of it. I didn't find I was represented there. That my ideals of an Easterner, of a red Tory. I mean, quite honestly.
Eastern Canada, who to be the bad guy? They're quite liberal. They are quite liberal. The whole country is quite liberal, and right now, this is the problem with Canada is we don't have a Republican type of party or messaging. We have the liberal messaging, and we kind of sort of have liberal light, or we have a like progressive conservative, because that's kind of what the Conservative Party is. Like, they haven't said they're going to deport people. Like, not really, right? Like, he's kind of tiptoed around it. So either you're like a full-blown conservative and you stand by Christian values and you're like, hey, we need to make Canada like great again, not to hijack the Trump thing, but seriously, we need to get rid of people that are just, that don't share our Canadian values and stop diluting what Canadian values are. you're going to be told you're racist for that. You're going to be told you're this and that and obic this and, whatever that you got fears of all these other things. No, man. If you want to keep Canada, you have to actually put in some measures to keep Canada Canadian, and it's been diluted. And if there's no clear distinction between the Conservative Party and the Liberal Party, like fundamentally with like their core values, I'm not talking about just like little one-liners and stuff like that, like the core values of the party and the sense of direction, then this shit happens. This shit happens right here, where people are like, you know what, I'm just going to jump ship, because you're not jumping. Okay, he's not like it's not like going from breakfast to dinner where it's like a whole different course of meal, right? You're not going from bacon and eggs to steak and lobster. Like it's not that far of a walk right now from the Conservatives to the Liberals, is how some of these people are viewing it, right? And that's dangerous. That's dangerous, because you need the Conservative Party to literally be like very strong, true Conservatives that are like just gonna say shit, and we don't really have that. We've got tippy toe stuff, which there's some of the repercussions, unfortunately.
Of trying to find ways to find solutions and help your community, rather than trying to oppose everything that's happening. And I think that's the opportunity that's being offered by Prime Minister Carney and the government caucus is to help find solutions at this critical time for Canada.
I'm also wondering if you can maybe contextualize the decision to leave with regards to what happened with your push and your bid to become the Speaker. Some MPs have told me that you looked dejected the day that you had to remove your name from the floor, and of course another one of the Conservative colleagues ended up being Deputy Speaker. I'm just wondering if you could speak a little bit to that, about how that impacted this decision.
I mean, I think it was an awkward time. I was hopeful, as many people would be hopeful, but I did move on. The summer came, and we had a great summer of traveling around. It wasn't really in my mind. It's just looking at leadership styles and whether we're doing the right thing for Canada or we're doing the right thing for ourselves. I would rather be on the side of Canadians.
And just really quickly, I'm just wondering, did you think that there was a real risk the budget could fall with this government, and do you think that risk still exists?
I think the risk always exists. You still have to have your account correct. You need to make sure people show up for the vote and those kinds of things. I think it's important that we make that more sure. I mean, this is a budget for a generation. This has got some good stuff in it for communities like mine, and I want to see it pass.
Hey, Mr. Lantermont, just Marco Vigliatti from My Politics. Just a quick question: was there anything tangible, offered towards you by the Liberals? A promise of perhaps a position in cabinet down the line? Anything along those lines to get you to cross the aisle?
No, really, it had to do with my riding itself. Acadianapolis is a big rural riding with lots of fishery and lots of agriculture and a military base. I want to make sure that I'm doing the right thing for them, to make sure that they have the housing and the infrastructures that they need. And I felt this budget was one that was going to provide that.
Last question, Jillian.
Some of your former colleagues have already been reacting to this news. They've called you a coward, disingenuous, and disloyal. What's your message to your former colleagues?
Well, I think they should look at themselves and see if they're offering the right thing to Canadians, of trying to build for the world. I mean, we have a great opportunity here in Canada, and rather than knocking people down, we should try to find ways to work together, and that's what I've always tried to do in my career.
Okay, so oh my God, it gets so much worse. Okay, because here is Mark Carney and Chris walking down Parliament this morning.
A good day for Canada. We're going to move forward.
A good day for Canada. Wait for it. They applaud. Sean Fraser happy. Greg Fergus happy. I'm assuming that's Greg Fergus. I just see a black guy. Unless there's another one. Oh, there's more. Okay, maybe that's not Greg Fergus. And then they start chanting Chris. Chris. There it is.
It's like
Okay. So you might be angry, and rightfully so, but it gets worse. So yesterday, when that happened, that MP locked his profile on X. I know this is like crazy. It's like, what? Like, who cares about a social media status? Like, what does that mean to lock your profile? It means that all your posts on X, they can't be seen by anybody. It's like removing your account essentially, right? It's just locking it down. No one can see anything. No one can comment on anything. And that's to avoid there's probably a few different reasons why people do it. But when you're under immense amount of controversy, I can only assume it's to just let the noise blow over, let the news blow over, and just avoid like interactions with people, right? So that happened again today, but with another conservative MP. This is where it gets very dangerous, folks. If another conservative MP crosses the floor, then you could have this guy right here, Matt Genereux, will do that today. Elizabeth May will hold a balance of power. Now, who's Matt Genereux? This guy right here. Now, that's not a backbencher. We've seen that guy talk many, many times. We've seen him talk many, many, many times. And when you go to his X profile, he's locked his account. That's the exact same thing Chris did yesterday. The exact same thing that Chris did yesterday, Matt Genereux just did right now. I'm just going to leave that with you, okay? Does that mean that he's leaving the Conservative Party? Not necessarily. But there's already a significant amount of rumors within Parliament, and somehow that shit finds itself to be, okay? I don't know. I just got people messaging me, okay? And it's been handy. It's worked out in the past because we've been right about so many things. He's locked his account as of this morning. It wasn't locked 24 hours ago. What's going on, Matt Genereux? What's going on, bro? Are you jumping ship? And you know what's even crazier? Can anyone, we're going to do Dora the Explorer. Can anyone tell me where Matt Genereux is from? Anybody? Can anybody tell me where Matt Genereux is from? He's from Alberta. He's from Alberta, Maudit tabarnak, si callis. What the heck is going on, dude? What is going on? I don't even know what to think of this. But it doesn't matter what I think of this. Let's see what another Conservative MP thinks of this.
Well, last spring, Canadians elected a minority parliament and put a check and balance on the power of an untested prime minister. Mr. Carney is trying to manipulate that result and get a majority Canadians did not elect.
What does Mark Carney have to say about this? Let's have a look.
I want to thank my colleagues from the National Capital Region for joining me, and I would especially like to thank Chris D'Entremont, the member for Parliament for Acadie, Annapolis. I'm honored to welcome him as the newest member of our government caucus. Chris's decision to join the government caucus at this crucial moment for our country is exceptionally valuable and important.
How many Conservatives has your caucus approached about joining the Liberal Party?
Well, I'd say the following. First, I want to underscore what I said at the start, how much I admire Chris D'Entremont, appreciate his joining the government caucus at this crucial time for our country. And I think that's the point to all MPs, wherever they're sitting in the House. This is a time where we need to act as a country, be as unified as possible, to act boldly, and to invest in the future of Canada Canada. That's what this budget does, and we'll speak to anyone, publicly or otherwise, that can support us. Mr. D'Entremont and I had discussion in advance of his decision, as was appropriate, because he wanted, I'm going to speak for you, and you'll have a chance to speak to him afterwards, but if I may, I think he wanted to test what we were going to do in the budget and the scope of what's required, and to see that there was the alignment, and you can see that there is that alignment, and as I'll just reinforce, this is a time for us to come together as much as possible in the interests of our country.
I know you're willing to talk to anyone, but I'm wondering, are you or any members of your team actually in conversations with other members of the opposition to try to get them to join the
I'm in conversation with you right now, so I can't be talking to anyone else. But Parliament works well. I'm new to Parliament. My view is always I will talk to anyone. It's part of our job is to talk to each other. You get ideas. You learn a lot when you're listening more than you're talking. So we seek out different opinions. I do that. I do that with the premiers. I do it with other members of Parliament. We'll continue to do that.
There you go. There you go, folks. It's happening. It's happening. Everything is about to change as we know it. Literally, we're going to have a Liberal majority without even having an election. And I just want to address something. This might get clipped up and put out as a video. But right now, as I'm speaking, this is done on a live stream. And I see somebody's comment down the live stream. I'm tempted to just unsubscribe to every political channel, hide all political stuff off of my algorithm, save up money, and move the F out of Canada. I can't anymore. Always Vibin made that comment. And I just want to say, you're not the only person to feel that way. I feel that way. I've got 4... I don't know, varying successful channels, right? And I love doing this. I love talking about politics. I never thought I would. I didn't study this. I shared my opinion during like the Freedom Convoy, and it took off, and it was like, oh, I guess I'm talking about politics. And before that, I lived in a van, and I made van life videos, and it was just like a lifestyle thing. And now I'm like talking about politics, and it is what it is, right? It is what it is. And I love it. And don't get me wrong, I absolutely love it. Like it's a fun part of my day. It's a routine. But there's many more days frequently now in a row where even myself, I'm like, this is starting to get toxic. Like this is starting to, I feel like it's affecting me. And I'm not saying that I'm like ready to walk away from this, but that feeling where people just want to like unsubscribe from political channels and just stop consuming the news, that's a very normal feeling for everything that's going on right now. And I'm not going to try to discourage people from that. If you want to do that, go ahead. But just know that I also feel that way. And I'm the one that is consuming way more of, not more than other people. I just mean like what makes it in a video versus what I actually consume. Right? It's like a chef, right? Like you bake or you make a lot of food, you cook a lot of food, and then what you actually serve is like a portion of it, right? So that's kind of what's going on my end. So if I talk about politics for 20 minutes, I've consumed an hour or more of it, kind of thing, right? Just as an example. And I also have those similar feelings. And so it's not a competition. It's not like who's consuming more. And I certainly didn't mean for it to sound that way. This is a live stream. And so I am just off the cuff, right? Off the dome, as Trudeau likes to say. But it is very draining and it does feel very defeating. And for people that don't feel like there's a light at the end of the tunnel, just know that there's hundreds of thousands, if not millions of other people in this country that also feel that way. And this isn't like a Braveheart motivational talk, but the government, sounds weird, wanted you to feel that way during COVID, right? They wanted you to feel defeated. They wanted you to feel like you were alone. They wanted you to feel isolated. And I wouldn't be surprised if that's part of what they're trying to do right now, or at least it's an effect. It's a byproduct of everything that's going on right now. And so you don't have to consume the news and be involved politically with just your time to feel like you need to stand and fight, but just do what's best for you, and just know that how you feel about politics right now and how it's overwhelming, man, millions of other people are also feeling that too.